everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about American Horror Stories, episode 5, Bloody Mary. This episode was really good. I enjoyed everything about it, from the characters, setting design, storyline, and the costume design of Bloody Mary. This episode opens with a young child standing in the dark facing a mirror. However, instead of a flashlight, this child has a candle flickering in her reflection as she murders the scene of Bloody Mary 3 times. Golden metallic claw hands burst through the mirror, reaching for the screaming child. And so then later on, fast forward, we get to know these girls right here, and they had a conversation about Bloody Mary and talked about how if you say Bloody Mary in the mirror, she will grant you your wish. Now, one of the girls, Bianca, wasn't having it and was like, "This is crazy. I don't want to deal with this. I don't even want to talk about or mention about Bloody Mary." But her sister Elise pressured Bianca to join the fun. So one by one, each girl stands in front of the mirror, speaking the Bloody Mary, calling for a beautiful long apparition in the mirror. Each girl asks for their wish, such as being the cheer captain or getting into college they want. In turn, in Bloody Mary, that plays by Dominique Jackson, instructs them of how to achieve their goals. However, these means are questionable, such as spreading stolen personal videos of a fellow classmate or accusing a teacher of sexual assault. What plays out is a conflict of conscience as each girl grapes with the reality of getting what they want under the guidance of Bloody Mary. But Bloody Mary gives them a time clock on when she wants these things to happen. So, of course, one by one, each member ends up dead if they don't fulfill what Bloody Mary needs. And Elise had to figure a way to kill Bloody Mary. So she went to the library, and the library explains the history of Bloody Mary. So, spreading throughout the main story, there were flashbacks of this episode and how Bloody Mary came to be. Seeking refuge in the house during the Civil War times, slaves believed to be on a path of the Underground Railroad becoming a trap by a wicked woman. This woman in the house would lock the slaves in the basement and call slave catchers to return them to their servitude. One of these slaves that were initially trapped was Bloody Mary. However, still human at the time and a despite attempt to save her people, she protected those in the basement but cursed herself through the misuse of her powers, causing her to assume the role of Bloody Mary. So Elise had an idea to go back to the original house where Bloody Mary was hidden and stop her. And then when they got there, Bianca and Elise called Bloody Mary and she appears in the mirror. So the huge twist was Elise was the one that was doing the killings and needed 3 pools of blood so her wish can be granted. And towards the end, of course, Elise didn't make it. So Elise's wish was for her to have power, didn't have to worry about anything anything happen to her at all, because her and Bianca was living at a home that was very poverty, and basically the mother was just didn't care for her own children, and that was the most saddest part, because the mother just didn't care at all and kicked them out the house, and they was sleeping in the car, and it was just terrible. And so Bianca just wanted everything to stop. She wanted to move on with her life. And once she heard about Bloody Mary's story of how she got trapped in a mirror in the first place, she felt bad. She had a conscience. And I wouldn't give Bloody Mary that blood. Once I had killed my sister in self-defense because she was trying to kill me, I would have walked away. I would have been like, "See you later. Okay, you coming through my mirror. Okay, cool, but you ain't gonna get me," type of thing. So I wouldn't feel like I wouldn't gave her that blood. Yes, I would have probably felt bad for her, what she'd been through, but I knew that something was going to happen. And basically, once the Bloody Mary drank that blood and the roles was reversed, Bianca was in that mirror and Bloody Mary was set free. And let me just say this: Dominique Jackson, who played Bloody Mary, was excellent. She brings a real chill and charm to this ghost story. I would love to see her more in American Horror Stories. Hopefully, I could see her more in American Horror Story alone. These flashbacks were some of the best parts of the episodes. It felt connected to the American Horror Story coven a little through the use of magic. showing more diverse use of magic from different cultures. It also wove the horror aspect and the magic into a real story about a time period that actually happened. That gave the story more depth, more life than some of the other stories in the American Horror Story universe. It also provided the context of the tale of Bloody Mary as well. I do wish that this was turned into American Horror Story, which is more episodes. That would have been so great. But overall, this was a fantastic episode. Man, I would say that this episode beat the rest of them that I have watched previously. Don't get me wrong, each episode was good in their own way, but this one brings the top tier of the best one in season two. So I hope you guys had enjoyed Bloody Mary. Let me know down in the comment section if you enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. And until then, see you later.